Now I just want to have a look at managing risk, and let's see how this trade progressed. When the initial chart that I brought up for you, the original candle was back down here, right? So we've got the breakout, and that was a good signal for us. And that was our entry point, and we had our trailing stop and our initial stop. The point at which I've dropped off the trailing stop because the initial stop, because the trailing stop kind of kicked in, and you can see as it started to follow, what happens is, based on the fact that your trailing stop is always calculated from the highest price since entry, as the share price continues to fall in this period here, our stop loss remained the same. That's one important thing to note. A stop loss will never move down. It will only move closer to price or sit still. Obviously, a stop loss isn't going to be effective if you're going to move it down. So having a look here, we had it set wide enough that it gave the stock enough room to move as part of its normal, trading volatility. If you have a look back here, you can see where it originally broke out and then fell back. If we had a very tight stop, we might have got stopped out there and missed out on this trade continuing. So having a look here, we've got the breakout, the price. As the share price fell, the trailing stop stayed the same, and then it's not until the point at which we break and make a new high, which was this point here, ever so slightly, but a new high, that's when the trailing stop started to kick in again. And you can just see the way it works. It pretty much just hugs price, giving price enough room to move. And then we had our highest price since entry up here, and you can see our final stop loss line here. It didn't move as the share price fell down. Now, depending on the type of trading system that you're trading, if you're trading a longer term system, you might be looking for a close below your trading price, or a close below your trailing stop. Or it might be an intraday stop. It really does depend on the type of trading system that you're trading. If you're trading a more shorter term trading system, you would probably look at doing an intraday stop or an intraday breach. So, as I catch my breath, I feel like we've just sort of scratched the surface here. There's lots of different things that build on that. That was a little bit of an example. I talked about the maximum position sizes. Just wanted to do that super recap. When setting excellent money management, it doesn't matter what system that you're trading, you need to have all of these rules in place. It's best to calculate them before you enter into the trade. You define what your float is, you define what your maximum loss is, you figure out what your entry price is, you figure out what your initial stop is. Using that information, you can calculate how many shares you're going to buy, and then once you're in the trade, you manage it using trailing stops. Very simply, that is excellent money management. Just having those things in place, those ideas. I know I didn't go into huge examples for each one, but if you just take the concept and apply it into your trading system, you're going to have maximum benefit. So the things that we didn't really get to talk on in great deal were maximum positions. We've got preferred stop-loss methods. I touched on that briefly. I use one called the lowest low stop, which I think is most effective. We didn't talk about time stops. So what happens when the share just shifts sideways? Is there a point at which you decide to exit? Averaging down, and why I think averaging down is bad. You want to really turn averaging down on its head and make sure that you start pyramiding up. How do you actually apply these techniques and strategies into leverage products? If you take the concepts and you apply it to any instrument, the fundamentals ring true. It's just a matter of how do we actually apply that into the leverage products. And some more fully worked examples, that's probably what we'd go through if we had a bit more time. But I was going to see, Brian, if you had any questions. I know I had a lot to go there, so I kind of didn't stop and take a breath. I just wanted to get it all out. But did you have any questions or anything you wanted to add?